Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, coming to you from Carson City, we're joined by State Senator Pat Spearman, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
It's the Lucky Lexus Cash and Free Play giveaways at Tamarack. Weekly cash and free play winners plus a $20,000 cash winner guarantee. And drive home a brand new Lexus NX30 or walk away with $42,500 in cash. It's a good time to win at Tamarack Casino.
The Do It Right guys at Nevada Heating have one mission. Your furnace breaks down today? We fix it today. Why freeze for days while your furnace is down when Nevada Heating can get the job done today and you can get warm again? For nearly 50 years, locally owned Nevada Heating has been getting the job done right. Call today at 323-5585 and we'll fix it today. That's 323-5585 or online at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room at the Bank Saloon. Coverage of the 2023 legislative session is brought to you by Liberty Dental Plan, making members shine one smile at a time. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. The Regional Transportation Commission of Washoe County, your RTC, our community. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. And by Nevada Builders Alliance, building a better Nevada.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're absolutely delighted to welcome back to the program State Senator Pat Spearman of District 1. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here again.
You are the chair of Senate Commerce and Labor, you are vice chair of Growth and Infrastructure, and you're a member of Revenue and Economic Development. Those are pretty darn powerful committees.
I think they're three interesting committees, and Commerce and Labor is probably the most diverse because we cover so many areas of the state. We cover insurance, jobs, apprenticeships, all of those things, banking, and so they're very, very diverse. And I think I've been chair since 2019, I think it was, and served on Commerce and Labor since 2015. So. Yeah, I think it's 2015. But
well,
yeah.
It's an extraordinary leadership position. I want to just start off by asking you, because of you being on Growth and Infrastructure, about Ivanpah Airport. I'm asking everybody about this because it seems to me that this is going to be one of the biggest economic development things to ever hit the Silver State, and yet so few members of the legislature can tell me much about it. Can you give us any thought on this?
You can add me to that list.
Why do you think?
Well,
because they've been doing environmental impact reports for years.
Well, yeah, but other than environmental impact studies, I mean, I don't, because here's the thing, and I always say to people, whenever there's something that is of interest for you, it's really important to get in touch with legislators before the session starts, because after the session starts, it's like, running downhill with a bear chasing you. It's like just trying to get there. Here's what I'll say about the economic development and the boom. I'm glad to see that we're doing, and some people may not understand this, so give me a chance to explain. I'm glad that we're doing environmental studies and balancing it with other areas that the state needs for growth. And that isn't to say that you throw everything out and don't, caution to the wind for the environment. That's not it. I'm just saying that it's good to take time to really understand and to see what the cost could be to the environment, what the cost could be to the people around the area, and what the cost could be, the lost opportunity cost. And either way, on either side, if you are in imbalance, I don't think that that's a good thing.
Rosemary Vasiliadis was quoted by Rick Vallada in the Las Vegas Review-Journal saying that the airport, Harry Reid, will run out of space in 2030, and the new airport probably won't be online until 2037. That seems to me that would be a terrible situation for gaming and tourism with the expansion of so many different sports and entertainment and new hotels. How could you possibly have a 7-year gap?
Well, let me say this from my perspective, okay? I wasn't born here and I wasn't raised in Nevada, but when I retired, I got here as quick as I could.
Yep.
Okay. I think one of the things that, and we're getting better about that, one of the things that we are getting better about doing, and that is looking into the future and discerning what the needs could be. And then, like in the military, you have to plan backwards. And so if it's going to happen in 2037, the question would be, we can't do anything about the past for that, but what else is out there that we will run out of space for, it will be antiquated, we will not have use for it, et cetera, and we'll need something to take its place. And I think that's one of the things that we in the legislature have to do. Now, Sam, let me make this statement because I say it almost every day in Commerce. We have one of the most antiquated legislative systems in the country. We're north of 4 million people in Nevada, and you're right, we have all kinds of sports teams. We've got a lot of big industry coming in, tech, and that sort of thing, and expansion of gaming. Yet we only meet once every other year. And so it's 120 days, and in my committee on commerce, sometimes I hear as many as 4 bills. I'm going to hear 3 bills today. So as many as 4 bills, and you want to have an in-depth dive into the information that the sponsor is bringing forward. And you also want to give people an opportunity to talk and to the committee members to ask questions and for them to answer. Well, if you only meet 120 days and you try to get to floor as close to 11 as you can, because a lot of people are tuning in and some of them on their lunch break, it makes the whole process truncated. Now, I understand that someone, I think it's from the Assembly side, has a bill for annual sessions, and annual sessions would be the way to go. Because if we're going to run out of space at Harry Reid in 2037, you only have 25,
in
27, 2030.
Yeah.
You only have 25 and 27. Because by the time you get back in 29, everything should be in place. If we had annual sessions, you would have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 20. You'd have six times to get it right. So absent some type of a special session, which nobody really likes, we're going to be in trouble. So I think that what has happened in the past is that we have operated still on the mindset of 200,000 people in Nevada, and that's not true anymore. And in some ways, the 120 session every other year constitutionally is almost like, well, we don't want the people who have to come in on horseback to do that too often.
All right, so would you be all right with 120 days one year and 60 the next year if you did it like that?
Yeah, well, if the Constitution says 120 days, we can always mix it up. We can do 60 and 60, 90 and 30, 45. It's different ways to get it done. But I just think we need to be meeting on an annual basis because Sine Die is June 5th. If the world goes to hell in a handbasket on June the 6th, and we need some type of legislative action, the only way that we're going to get it is come back into special session.
Okay, but what about the interim committees?
The interim committees are good, but you still need those sessions because that's where the laws are passed. When we meet in the interim committees, we're looking at things that we didn't get a chance to look at during the session. And even when we take a vote, it doesn't change the law. IFC is probably, IFC and Ledge Commission have some power, but it's limited because for the most part, the Constitution invests in legislators the ability to make change and alter laws. So when, and we've been talking about annual sessions since I've been there, and getting it done this time, it doesn't benefit me. But it will benefit the people of Nevada. And I've heard some people say, some of my colleagues on the other side, well, you know, if you do go to annual sessions, then you increase your pay. And I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean, increase your pay? Well, because you'll get paid every year, but you get paid the same amount, you know? And it's not even about the legislators' pay, it's about, so if the A's come here, and I don't know that they will, but you already have the Raiders, you have, you know, the Aces, you have, gosh, I'm trying to think of all the teams.
Golden Knights.
Golden Knights, you've got all of them, and people coming in and out, and tourism, and there are a lot of people who are moving into Nevada, especially southern Nevada, because of the weather, and those from California are moving here because the lifestyle is similar, the weather is similar, and the fact that we don't have any state income tax is appealing to a lot of older people. As a matter of fact, Nevada is considered to be a graying state. By 2040, most of the residents of Nevada, unless things change, will be over 55.
Despite the tech industry?
Yes, because those who are, the people who are 35 now are moving in that direction and they're already here. And so anybody else coming in, they're just going to come in on top of that age group. And so that age group, and I'll just round number, let's say if that age group is 20,000. Well, you got tech industries moving in, and maybe that's another 150. So, and that's 150, 20,000, 21,500. Did I get the math right?
I think so.
Yeah, and so they're just going to keep going. But also you have people who are retiring in Southern California and other parts of the country who look at Nevada and say, oh, wow, if I go to Nevada, I don't have to shovel snow.
Right.
I don't have to worry about...
Well, Southern Nevada anyway.
Well, Southern Nevada. And I don't have to do a lot of things that way. I had a woman tell me, who moved into my district, I think I talked to her in 2021, and I met her at an event, and she was like, "Oh my goodness!" She said, "In California, I don't think I ever got a chance to meet my senator."
Right.
You know, I said, "Okay, well," I said, "Well, I'm glad to meet you. Why did you move here?" And she said, "Because I'm a widow, and all I have is my Social Security and my husband's pension, and it was impossible for me to live in California." And so my son and my daughter came here and they looked around and they saw the houses and they told me, "Mom, if you sell your house, you can buy another house, a little bit smaller, but you can also put the rest of that aside and that can complement whatever you have." And she said, and I moved here, and she said, "I'm just surprised at how much money I have left over." And so we have those people moving in. We have the people who are already here, and yet we only have sessions every other year.
Let me just jump on one thing you said, because you said we don't know if we're going to get the A's. Are there big conversations about that in the building?
You know, I have not heard. The conversations that I have heard about have been on the news. No one has come to talk to me about it. Honest, no one's come to talk to me about it. So
Steve Sebelius in the Las Vegas Review-Journal wrote a column last weekend where he talked about the fact that the legislators get to talk on their topics as long as they want, but the public and the lobbyists only get 2 minutes to be able to discuss the most in-depth issues that affect our state. And you know as well as I do that the best lobbyists only are the best lobbyists because they give both sides of every situation, and that's how their integrity works. What do you think about that? Should we be opening that up to be able to allow people to speak longer on these very important topics?
That's why we need annual sessions. I mean, really, that's why we need. You know,
you could sell that.
Well, I mean,
seriously, you
could
really, sell that.
Listen, I say that to people in commerce. You know, Thursday, I think it was, we started at 7:30, and Thursday wasn't even our normal day to meet. But we started at 7:30. And like I said, sometimes I have 4 bills on my committee. You have finance that usually starts about 7 or 7:30 in the morning. But we can't go all the way through whatever the bills are. We don't have a lot of time to get in depth because in the morning, if we go too long, then that pushes floor back. And you have some people, as I said, who look at floor and they've taken their lunch break. They have planned their day around it. But not only that, if we go too far into the morning and overlap into the afternoon, that pushes all the other committees back. Now here's what that means. We're going to be here in the building. But if you come and you've gone to Grant Sawyer, and I had this to happen, a lady called, she was at Grant Sawyer and she was going to testify on a bill, but we went too long, and so the next committee that I was in the afternoon, she only had maybe 30 minutes because she had to go and pick up her kids. With annual sessions, we could rearrange all of that because now we have enough time to hear people, and we can plan the committees in such a way that we might do policy one year and budget the next year, or we might do policy at one half of the first year and then budget the next time. I mean, you know, so there are a number of ways that we can do that, but we only have 120 days.
All right, let's take a break. More with State Senator Pat Spearman after this timeout.
Come join the month-long celebration during the Carson Valley Inn 13th anniversary giveaways with guaranteed $1,000 winners every drawing night and a $13,000 grand prize winner guaranteed. Come celebrate with us during the 13th anniversary giveaways at the Carson Valley Inn.
Remember 2010 in Northern Nevada, 13 to 14% unemployment, thousands of homes in foreclosure, Nevada's casinos closing? Families in the Reno-Sparks area were hurting. Many were losing everything. Then Story County launched a game changer for our region, a public-private industrial partnership, streamlined permitting, slashed bureaucracy, attracting Fortune 500 companies that made Nevada their home. Story County generated a river of cash to area communities. Economic studies by the state and others for the Gigafactory consistently show positive economic benefits for our region. $4 billion in local wages, $17 billion in consumer spending and economic activity, over $100 million in taxes to Washoe, Story, Reno, Sparks, and Nevada, just for the Gigafactory alone. Story County, improving Northern Nevada one industry at a time.
Located in the heart of Carson City, the Bank Saloon is a historic watering hole with a modern feel. With a variety of classic cocktails featuring Nevada spirits, space for private events, conferences, and an incredible atmosphere, the Bank Saloon offers a great location to work and play. Come visit us. Located at the corner of 5th and Carson, we'll save you a drink.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Pat Spearman. SB 184 survived Friday's deadline for first committee approval, your bill, that would add 2 new seats to the North Las Vegas City Council and require the city manager become a resident of the city within 6 months. I understand.
And 2 more things.
Okay, go ahead.
And the diversity audit, City Hall, HR, and also a diversity supply chain.
Okay, so I understand that the population of North Las Vegas has grown so much that you would like to see the additional 2 people on there. The mayor, who actually defeated you in a run for mayor, is against that. Why would you think she's against that, expanding the council?
I don't know, and actually the way that the race turned out, I look back in hindsight and it was a blessing because I really do enjoy the legislative process. The focus is very broad, and I can deal with legislation like this. I can also deal with legislation regarding renewable energy. I can deal with legislation regarding industry. There's so many things that I could do. If I were the mayor, it would be very, very limited. And so I called now Mayor Pamela Goins-Brown and wished her the very best, and I mean that sincerely. And I've also had a chance to say to her, congratulations in person, and please be assured, I don't care what anybody tells you, I don't want your job. I don't. So sometimes I say God saves us from ourselves, and I think in this instance God saved me from myself. Okay. So let me say
okay.
what. So in 1970, the population for North Las Vegas was 36,000 people.
There were 4, a little.
Yeah, a little bit, right. It's four members, 4 city council members. In 2011, you might remember, we got an extra congressional district. Why did that happen? Population. And it was, let me see, oh yes, CD4, Congressional District 4. What area provides the largest portion of CD4?
North Las Vegas.
Yes, and so we get an extra congressional district, but still the city didn't do anything about modernizing the city council. Fast forward, in 2020, and this is when someone called me, one of my veteran friends, Mikey Kelly, called me, and I wish I could remember who else had called me, but called me and said, Senator, why don't you all put something in while you're doing redistricting to expand city council? That didn't happen then. I told him I'll come back in 21 and I'll do it in 21, but I was just recovering from COVID and just didn't have the bandwidth. And so I told them. You were
very sick with that.
I was very sick. And I told them, I said, I will put it in the next session. And so if you look at Senate Bill 184, you see BDR 5. And anybody who's been around the building knows that when you have that low of a number, it was put in pretty quickly. I put that bill in the week before Sine Die, but it wasn't published until after Sine Die. And I need to make that distinction because of the falsehoods that are circling around. So now, in 2020, the Census Bureau said we had 262 people. Now, we have 275,000 people. Okay? So it's not 9,000 people anymore per city council member. It's something like 70 or 80,000. You cannot give good constituent services like that, and the people that came to me and said, yes, this is what we want, and the people who are still saying that, they're trying to push this along, they're saying it's about representation. I don't know why everybody else is all against this, and and why the city would hire an attorney to fight this. I don't know. I mean, really, I've not had any conversations about that, but what I do know is that with 275,000 people, and if you stop and think that the Census Bureau says there's at least 10% of the people who don't report, so 10% of 275, whatever the math is.
Another 27.5.
Yeah, so we're probably closer to 300,000 than we are 275. Why wouldn't you want to modernize? Now let me address the piece about...
Okay, now hang on a second. We'll take a break and then we'll address the piece about the city manager, right?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
They're going to be calling me in a minute.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with State Senator Pat Spearman of District 1. So you wanted the opportunity to talk about why you want the city manager to be located in the city of North Las Vegas, rather than, as is pretty much the case all across the country, where police, fire, city managers can be located wherever they want.
Well, there was someone who was offered a job as city manager for Henderson, and they didn't take it because they would be required to move to Henderson. And it is my understanding, after talking to a couple of city council people in Reno, that's the case in Reno. It's the case in Sparks. Here's what I say. If you're going to manage a city, you should really live there. Now, I understand, all over Clark County there's, symbiosis, but there are certain things that the people of North Las Vegas deal with that you only know when you live there. And besides that, it says something to the people about how the city manager is going to not govern, but how they're going to make recommendations. We have a weak council, strong city manager form of government. And someone pointed this out to me, and you can check it out. I think it's Transparent Nevada. Every elected official's salary is on there, and everybody who gets paid, anything is on there. And so someone pointed out to me, our city manager makes $550,000 a year. And they said it's not just $550,000, it's $23,000 every 2 weeks, $46,000 a month, including benefits. And as they said, most people, the majority of people in North Las Vegas only make a little bit more than $35,000. And so if the people who only make a little bit more than $35,000 can live there, you should live there too, because these are the people that are paying your salary. What's wrong with that? And the city charter actually says that now, but there's a caveat. The city council can exempt you from that. Now, when this goes through, the current city manager won't be affected, but anyone else, especially if you're going to be making more than $500,000 a year, the people need to know that the people who are governing and who are making recommendations about the things that will affect their lives have to live under those same things.
Okay, I have to cut you off here because I know you have to go back to your committee. But we didn't even get to renewable energy, and I know I want to talk to you a lot about that. So will you please come back before end of session?
I will.
We'll look forward to it.
I will.
Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you,
Pay
Senator.
attention to across the street, because I'm trying to get some hydrogen fuel cell cars here.
All right, I will definitely pay attention.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
When in Carson City, Nevada Newsmakers records in the conference room at the Bank Saloon. Coverage of the 2023 legislative session is brought to you by Liberty Dental Plan, making members shine one smile at a time. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. The Regional Transportation Commission of Washoe County, your RTC, our community. NV Energy, proudly serving Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. And by Nevada Builders Alliance, building a better Nevada.
Our thanks to the Bank Saloon in Carson City and the Builders Alliance for their help with our coverage of the 2023 legislative session. We'll see you on the next broadcast.